everyone, this is Garrett, and this is Serious Sam 2. We are about to do level 15, Hong-Pong, which is starting off episode 3, Fang.
See? Told ya!
I could have done it too.
You couldn't even integrate accelerated alpha void into simple polymer thermomolecular quantum structures.
Luck was talking. You, on the other hand, couldn't even...
Enough! We have no time to lose. Prince Charles' birthday party is in progress, and we must send him to Fang immediately.
That was a piece of cake. What's next?
You did pretty good down there. Maybe you are now ready for a real deal.
Yeah? And what was that before? Playing a video game?
Never mind, let's get it on.
Next part of Medallion is on planet Fang. The resident of Fang will help you, but there is nothing much they can do. They live in constant fear of being eaten by Prince Chan, mental minion that is terrorizing the planet. And what is most important and brutal, the damn thing ate the medallion.
Let's just hope he didn't go to the toilet since then.
Today is his birthday. There will be a big ceremony on the main square. We made a plan.
Yes, here is the plan. You enter town, arrive at Prince Charles' birthday party, destroy him as his servants, and take the medallion part.
Simple but effective.
Could we go through it one more time? I'm not sure I caught all of that.
Okay, you enter town.
Hey. Just kidding.
일별부터 어이베해네.
Chinese! I love Chinese. I never could eat a whole one, though.
Only the highest quality cutscenes in Serious Sam 2. Now, starting off, planet Fang.
The auto shotgun and get rid of that gum. Your chewing makes me all dizzy.
Okay.
Has a pretty big looking area, but it's pretty much entirely covered in invisible walls, so we're just gonna kill all the new enemies, which is, first of all, those guys, which is some sort of weird ninja type of doo-doo-boo. And they're kind of annoying because they take slightly more damage than a single shotgun shot. So you're gonna either want to shoot them once and then switch to the shotgun, or just keep shooting them with the shotgun all the time, really. Both work pretty well. There's a whole bunch of boxes in this area, but they pretty much all contain money and stuff like that. Like, I just quickly throw a grenade there, and sometimes they'll also contain enemies, apparently, but most of these boxes just contain money, so I'm actually just gonna move along because I'm not really interested in score.
You must find a switch to open the gates.
And we need to find a switch to open the gates.
I bet it's in the corner somewhere.
And it probably is in a corner somewhere, so as we move along further in this direction to find a corner to look in, more enemies spawn. And we're just gonna take care of them very, very carefully. These guys have a ranged attack and a melee attack, and their ranged attack is usually quite slow. And they won't even always use it, I don't think, unless they're actually like far away enough, but simultaneously nothing has to be in the way, and there's a couple of variables that it looks at before it actually starts throwing those things at you. But as long as you sort of try to keep these pillars in between the two of you, then usually they'll try to do a melee attack. And their melee attacks are actually quite quick, which is arguably a little bit more scary than their range attacks. So I'm not really sure what the best idea is. Obviously, you don't want to get hit, so it probably would be best to just keep everything as far away as possible just in case. And That way, it won't be so bad. Just gonna destroy some of these because I know a couple of them contain armor and health and whatnot. And health and armor is always good, of course. And there's one of these dudes over here as well. Watch out for that one, he's kind of in a rude place. So we pull the lever, which is in the corner somewhere, and it opens up the gate to the next area. But unfortunately, it also spawns a bunch of stuff.
Double shotgun. Go pick it up and make some noise.
Primarily, it spawns that red dude over there, which, in combination with the things we're fighting right now, is actually quite annoying. So I'm actually going to run back a little bit, just to make sure that we can focus down these ninja-type dudes. I'm not really sure what they are called, but either way, you don't want them to kick you in the face, obviously. And as long as we stay far enough away, the red dude won't shoot any rockets at us, and that dude won't really be shooting lasers at us much either. And we can take care of everything one at a time. These guys can actually shoot rockets at the buildings as well, and some of the buildings actually just get completely destroyed pretty much when explosions happen in that area. But as long as you're just careful enough, they shouldn't even fire at you at all, and then everything will be good. Now, before we move on to the next area, we're going to kill all of these dudes over here. There's a couple which are coming from upstairs, and we're actually going to go upstairs there as well. Primarily because it will make getting a secret in the next area quite a bit easier, in my opinion. Because you can also break these things, by the way. Because as we move further up, there is a box that we have to destroy. And it is possible to destroy it when you're past the gate, but I find it a little bit easier to destroy it from here. I'm just gonna break all these things here. The double shotgun right now is actually really good, just for the sake of being able to kill those guys in a single shot rather than two. It just speeds up the process a little bit. But yes, I'm actually gonna do a little quick save here. And there is a, well, barrel, I guess it is more like. There's an invisible wall stopping you from just jumping over this. But if you shoot that barrel, it drops a serious bomb down in the next area. And if you're in the next area, it is possible to destroy it with a grenade. But I've had the serious bomb just not fall down at one point when I tried to do that, just because the grenades have a tendency of moving the barrel around a little bit, and then the falling won't work properly anymore, and it's just a mess.
Flying over there. Get them and blast the flying Sensi wannabes sky high.
We'll do that in a second. It is possible to push this thing in front of that building and then jump on top of that building and then pick up the box that way, but it's a hassle because you have to get this thing up the stairs and it's just not fun to do.
Secret serious bomb has been collected.
But we're just gonna pick up these Uzis, and our ammo's still looking pretty good, so I'm not gonna worry too much.
Do some serious gangbanging.
And after picking up the Uzi, when we walk in this direction, it spawns those guys, which is another new enemy type, which is located on this planet. These guys are actually quite annoying because they have this weird semi-homing ranged attack type thing. It's really slow, but the projectile usually flies around for quite a while, and it can actually be a real problem when there's just a whole bunch of those projectiles flying all over the place and you have to avoid all of them, because simultaneously after a while it'll spawn those zombie sensei, whatever you want to call them, dudes, those guys on the left as well, and you have to take care of both simultaneously. And taking care of enemies that are on the ground while taking care of enemies which are flying in the sky can be a little bit scary, especially on this difficulty that we're playing on. So just take it slowly and steadily. Try to be aware of where these guys are, which usually from the sounds they make you can generally tell where they are without actually having to look at them. But it's still a scary place because there's quite a lot of enemies, and it's not that hard to just kind of get overrun if you don't take care of them quickly enough. It's a good thing that this is kind of an open area though, because it's an open area, they use their ranged attacks more. And it makes it a little bit easier to avoid them, I think, because you can just walk left and right like this, and generally they will miss you with the things they try to throw at you. Now, after killing everyone here, I'm just going to pick up some ammo over here just to be safe. And we're just going to break all of that. I'm not sure if there's an enemy in there, so I'm just staying far away from it. But there's plenty of health in here, which is good. And a whole bunch of armor. And next to the armor, there's also a bunny over there.
Secret dead bunny killed by secret ninja chicken has been found.
And it's been killed by a secret ninja chicken, which, more on that later. You can throw the bunny around if you want. But it's not doing so well anymore, so we're just gonna give it a proper burial in that general direction. Now, grenades are nice. If you did get on this side without shooting that box over there, I'm not actually sure if you can go back. Oh, you can actually just... No, you can't go back. This door is actually locked. So with those grenades, you would be able to shoot that barrel as well. And that way you would also... be able to... Shut up. You would also be able to grab that series bomb, but we already got it, so it's good. So normally when you get close to that door, it will spawn that bull, but I guess if you spawn that dude inside that box, it'll spawn the bull as well. I'm not really sure how that works. But that bull opens up this door, otherwise it's just completely locked. And this place is pretty stuffed with enemies. Primarily a couple of enemies which shoot rockets in your general direction, so you want to be very careful here. This is a pretty scary place. There's a lot of enemies which just deal a large amount of damage in a short period of time. So you want to try to take enemies on in small numbers. In as small of a number as you can possibly take them on in. And the levels are actually quite large right now. So it's not too easy to spread them out and try to get enemies to follow you around. That turret is kind of hard to see because it kind of blends in with the background, but he's definitely there and he's definitely shooting rockets at us right now. So taking care of that first, we can now focus down that red dude, who fortunately gets stunned every now and then when you just keep shooting him. And above him, there's actually another turret as well, which is too spooky for me to take care of all at the same time. If you just run in the middle here, you'll probably just get destroyed, and it's sad times, honestly. And I'm just gonna go up here because I think there's a whole bunch of enemies here, and taking care of some extra enemies every now and then can be fun. Why not do it, right? We need to get those points after all, which spawns even more jerks, but we have grenades and absolutely nothing to worry about. Now, it is possible to choose levels via level select, and if you do that, you actually just get a sort of general amount of ammo and like health and weapons and stuff. So I'm trying to sort of only use the weapons that you would have if you'd use level select. Also, this person throws some health at you, which is kind of nice. But simultaneously, I do want to use the weapons that we find, obviously, and because of that, we're going to just have 3 bombs for a lot of the time. And there are just going to be certain scenarios where if I cannot just figure out a good way of doing it, I'm just going to just bomb everything. And that's the nice thing of not using level select in this game. Usually, if you actually lose a life and not just load a quick save, you'll actually just lose the bombs and stuff you found as well if you found in the previous level. So, arguably the best way to play this game is to never die at all, which is kind of what we're going for in this playthrough. Also, I believe there's another 50 health over here, which you can get if you want, but obviously our health is already completely filled up, so it would be a little bit pointless. And every now and then I'm using grenades just for the sake of destroying things quicker than just shooting them would, because it doesn't really make that much of a difference for our current ammo situation. So moving along, little spiders coming up. These guys die very quickly to my double shotgun. They die in a single shot, and that dude dies very quickly from grenades being shot in his face. And there's a whole bunch of Uzi ammo over here, which is good because we were not exactly running low, but having as much as possible at all times is obviously what we want at all times. So having killed that guy, this is something I was actually talking about a million levels ago. Also, there's some score power up in one of these boxes, but I can't really be bothered. These clowns were basically my theory as to why the kamikazes, like the headless kamikazes, were so weak, because these enemies are effectively an upgraded version of those enemies. And in all honesty, they're still pretty bad, but they deal, I think, a little bit more damage than the general headless kamikaze would do, and they take a little bit more damage as well. So obviously they are kind of a force to be reckoned with. But after killing all those clowns, it's going to spawn a whole bunch more of those spiders. But we have so many grenades right now that it's not going to be any problems at all to take care of these guys. Very easy to just kill everything with the grenades and the shotgun we have right now. And given the fact that we are almost at full health and have a pretty large amount of armor, there is just no chance these guys are going to take us down. And in just a moment, everything should be dead, and we can actually just leave. I'm not actually 100% sure if you even need to kill all these enemies, or if you could just run to the exit immediately. Also, there was a box over there, and if you want, you can push that box all the way to this building, and you can do some fun little jump stuff. You can see some out of bounds areas, which you unfortunately won't be able to reach because this place is actually just completely filled with invisible walls. But you get to see the void, and you get to see some almost unfinished looking areas because they just didn't bother to put stuff there because they didn't expect people to just get there in general. And finally, I think you can destroy some of the stuff here as well. Like, you can destroy these lamps. Pretty much every lamp contains a coin, so if you're going for the highest score thing, that's one thing to keep in mind. But we're just gonna leave the level by going over here.
And here's the cash. Now, give me the ticket. Thanks. Will you guys cut that crap out already? Leave me alone, please! Shish.
I do like how the Nars, like those one-eyed enemies, still make a little appearance in the cutscenes. Would be nice if we actually got to see them in the game as well, but it's not to be. But that is the end of this level, and therefore the end of this video. So the next time we play, we are going to do level 16, I think. I want to say 16, but honestly, not sure which level it is, what's going on. Something about a carnival or something like that. But we will do that next time. Also, this is actually one of the few levels where we like way above the estimated time in a way, because usually the estimated time is just way more than you actually need, but this is actually somewhat of an exception. And unless you actually just run, it's pretty likely that you're going over the estimate. But that's fine, because it doesn't really make any difference at all unless you're going for points. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.